Hello and Christmas greetings from here at Bute Road. Christmas Eve 2021, so if you're watching this after today, you're a bit late, but never mind, I'll forgive you. Today we're going to have a look at a couple of other layouts and friends that I've visited and get a bit more information about the layouts and also see some running sessions and some photographs as well. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and let's go and find out about these other layouts. Okay, so the first layout we're going to have a look at now is Exford by Ian Blackall. Let's have a look and see what he's got. So Ian, tell us about Exford then. So it looks like it's based in Devon with the red soil on the background. Is that the location?
Yeah, that's right. The location is meant to be Devon, around about the Exeter St David's area, around about 1990 I guess.
Yeah. Lovely job. And what sort of size is the shed inside?
The shed itself is a 16 by 10 shed, so you can probably take about 6 inches off all round. So about 15.5 by 9.5 feet, I guess, internally. Plenty
of running area because you've got the scenics on both sides and the Fiddle Yard's underneath.
Yeah, that's right, the Fiddle Yard's underneath the stabling point on one side.
Yeah, lovely job. And the period you're running, that's around 1990?
Yeah, about 1990s. Middle of the network southeast area that I remember most. Lovely. When the 50s were still being used.
Yeah. And I noticed there's a lot of blue foam shown. That's your underlay, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just laminate floor underlay that I picked up in B&Q whenever it was I started.
Right.
And nothing special about it. It's about 2-3 mil for thick.
Yeah. Certainly helps the sound deadening. And you've also got Tidworth, which is the exhibition layout.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we won't be seeing that today, but what size is that roughly?
It's about, what is it? It's 5.6 metres, whatever that is in old money.
Yeah.
It's about nearly 20 feet with the Fiddle Yard on the end. It's about 20 foot, I think.
Lovely. And both the layouts, Exford and Tidworth, can be found on the RM web.
Yes, that's right.
And your Temeraire.
I'm Temeraire on there, yeah.
On the RM web. So there we go, people. Yeah. If you want to see more of both these layouts, have a look on RM web and look for Exford in Shed, which is where this one's located, and also the Tidworth layout. Right, let's have a look at the videos.
Do that eventually. bottom, so all right.
Okay, thanks Ian. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We're now going to have a look at Kevin Broadhurst's Millway Dock, and also there's a layout that's work in progress. So let's have a quick word with Kevin and then we'll have a look at these two layouts. So this is Kevin. Tell us about Millway Dockland, Kevin. How long is it?
Millway Dock's about 8 foot long, the scenic section, and overall with the 2 fiddle yards each end it's about 14 feet, something like that.
And it's just a modern day harbour?
It's 90s, based 90s again. Most of my stock I've got is 90s, but I've managed to accrue some 60s stock over the last year or two.
As we all do.
As we do,
yeah.
And it's nice to be able to go back to a different model and period which I've never done before.
Swap around, yeah, and it's DCC of course.
Yeah,
and,
DCC.
We're going to have a look at the boats and the buildings as we look around the layout, but a lot of it is scratch built and kit built and...
Yeah, mixture of both really. The big ship, the Molly J, she's a Dean's Marine kit originally, which was a radio control thing, but you'd have a job now having a radio control because the hole's missing basically.
Right, so you've cut the bottom off to be able to lay it on the water.
Yeah, so it's a waterline now, I think.
Yes, waterline boat, brilliant. And it's an exhibition layout, I believe.
Yes, well, it's only, well, saying that, it's done one exhibition in Poole a couple of years ago, but because of the pandemic, we haven't done much since. But hopefully, we should be in Brockenhurst with it in May.
May of 2022.
Yeah, May 2022. Yeah.
For anybody watching this in 10 years' time, lovely job.
Yeah.
Right, super job then, Kevin. Let's go and have a look at your layout now. So we're going to run this in a moment. We're going to start from the Fiddle Yard. So the Fiddle Yard looks what, about 2'6" then, Kevin?
3 foot, yeah.
3 foot, oh
yeah,
goodness me, right.
Overall, yeah.
Yep, and then we're going to come in, and we've obviously got the harbour along the front.
Yeah.
Now the buildings at the back, they're from...
the Walther's range, the American range. The whole layout was, I saw a layout many years ago called Winteringham Haven, which gave me the inspiration to do, I mean, basically copy it, I suppose, really. I hope the lads up in Hull don't mind. But yeah, that's where it came from. So it's basically a dockside, with the boats here, the tracks are obviously in the middle, and the whole thing is about feeding the docks, feeding the ships, you know, as per the...
And the track work, you were telling me earlier, the track work is code 100.
It's code 100, yeah, but I've inlaid the cardboard on top. It's just, it's a Metcalf, in this case it was tarmac, but it's all been painted grey, but just cut to fit into the tracks. So. Yeah, yeah.
And again, I must say you've done a lovely job of setting the points in there, Kevin. They're really neat.
Yeah, they're Pico standard code 100. And underneath them is some cobalt point motors, some tortoises, I think.
Oh right, so they're slow motion.
Yes, slow motion. Yeah. There's only 4 on the whole layout. So.
And there's 2 more inside this shed behind.
There's 2 more hidden in there, which is really good at exhibitions. Would catch people out. From time to time.
Lovely job.
Yeah.
And moving along here at the front, obviously with the roadway with the keep clear signage.
Yeah.
But plenty of vehicles, and certain vehicles there that you've cut and modified.
Yeah, I mean they're just the standard Oxford die-cast, which I've modified by opening the doors and things to make them a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But it obviously fits sort of particular areas, as you see the guys loading sacks into the back of the van, because the forklift won't be able to lift them in because it's the up the door over the top sort of thing.
Yeah.
Matter of interest, the Loco there is the little Hornby Sentinel, which I think they're lovely little locos.
And you've got several of those, I believe.
Yeah, there's 3 of those on the layout at the moment. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
They're good little models.
Yeah, and then we've got some more buildings at the back here, and that again is a Walters kit, I believe.
Yeah, the most of it is that there's bits and pieces on there which are sort of scratch built out of wheels kits, plastic, building material sort of thing. But generally, it's all Walters kits all the way through. Yeah, different ones, but.
And that one, I think, is one kit you.
It is,
used the four sides and made it into one long building.
Yeah, it was
lovely. Yeah,
it started as a square building, but it's obviously turned into a big long one now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The crane here is a matter of interest. Is a bit special. It was done for me by a good friend of mine. It's all built out of scratch.
Really?
It's, well, saying that, it's used other components from kits. Some of the people out there might notice some Airfix bits around it, and there's a pole of bits and pieces in there as well. But most of it is made from a lot of ingenuity and a lot of scratch build in there. But it's really come out very nice. I'm very pleased with that. Very proud of it. So.
Yeah, and then it just goes down this end and then goes into another
Fiddle Yard. Yeah, exactly the same. It's a mirror image of the one the other end, same dimensions.
Swivelling sector, so the roads all line up with each other. Yeah, lovely idea.
Yeah, saves a lot of space. Saves a lot of space.
Yeah. Right, we'll have a look at the boats next. So the Molly J.
Yeah, that's after my grandkids. So I've got a Molly and a Jamie, so it's become the Molly J.
Beautiful.
The ship itself is a kit, radio control kit from the Dean's Marine was the manufacturer. I modified it to be a little bit more scale-like, and also to be able to fit the Langley RB22 in between the two hulls. I've had to sort of shorten one and lengthen the other so they're more equal.
And you made it a waterline boat, as we were saying earlier,
Yeah, it's waterline model rather than... obviously it came with a hull, otherwise it wouldn't float very well at the moment, I'm afraid. But, not that it'll be able to anyway, but...
and the crane's a Langley's, you say?
That's a Langley RB22, yes. A good old-fashioned machine from years ago.
Gosh,
the basis of it, I'm not sure to be truthful, I saw a boat out in the Caribbean when we were on holiday out there, and that's where I saw it and got the idea from. I'm not sure if it would be much use around this neck of the woods. But,
and you had to modify some of the decking there as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Make it right.
It's just really to make it look a little bit more scale-like. So.
Yeah. There's some beautiful detail on there.
Yeah.
And we've got another boat down the other end. We'll go down and have a look at that one next.
Okay.
So tell me about Noah.
Right, Noah's again another one of my grandchildren. I think it's called Noah's Ark, this one. But it's basically a model of a bunkers barge, as it's called. In other words, it's a refueler for ships. The hull is basically a Walters kit again, of a type of float, a car float I think it's called in America, and basically they load railway wagons onto it and they have a tug tied onto the side which propels it around where it has to go. But this is more of a self-contained one, a self-propelled one, with a little sort of engine on the back which hopefully moves it around the docks a bit. But most of it is scratch, all the decks, all the stuff on the top really, apart from the container obviously. That's a Polar or a Viking crane. Just bits and pieces really come together to make it what it is.
And once again, things like you've gone to town with the weathering. I mean, the weathering there is superb. It just looks so natural, shall we say, not overdone.
Well, I've tried my best to do that. It's always you can easily overdo it, and obviously it's a different sort of weathering on a ship because it's constantly in contact with water, so you probably get rust rains.
Yeah.
Whereas with obviously you don't get much dirt because it gets washed off. So.
And LED lighting everywhere. I mean, we look around the whole layout and there's LED lighting, but some lovely bits there to show as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, most of it's express models. Lights that I've used, and I hope we can get some more.
Yeah, brilliant. And we've got a Capri there with the hatch open. That's nice.
Yeah, that's. Each one of those models takes about two because you need one to take the door out and one to take the body out. So then you take two models to make the one finished one.
Beautiful job. Right, we'll run some trains next.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're actually starting off with steam loco then, Kevin, which is this?
It's the Bachmann model, I think it's a model rail special, 30064, which is a USA dock tank.
And they were in Southampton Docks,
yeah,
of course.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really what made me get one, to be honest. Several, it obviously got sound in it, and that was all done by Richard up in York. I think it's Sound and Rail and Sounds models, I think, or Road and Rails models, something like that.
And lights as well.
Yeah.
Proper lamp on the front, which is nice. Lovely touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a sweet runner.
Yeah. The wagons are all Cambrian, with loads by Evergreen girders and beams and things on there. So, the wagons are all ex-Cambrian kits, which I built some of them many, many years ago.
Yeah, that is superb. It's nice when a layout of this quality runs so sweet. It runs as good as it looks, which is always a credit to the builder, of course.
Thank you. Hornby's Loco, which is a Sentinel. I think you saw one earlier on. Again, this one's same sort of standard as the one we saw earlier. It's been done by the same. It's got sound in it, it's got lights in it, and it's got a stay alive in it. But they run very nicely straight out of the box, to be honest.
You've got an awful lot into a very small body there.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it. Richard did it again up in Roads and Rails in York. So very good job, brilliant job he does of them. I love them to bits, to be honest. I play with them for hours, backwards and forwards, jumping around. I can lose a couple of hours easily.
Right, tell me about the crane.
Again, Walther's kits. Again, they make some fantastic stuff. You know, and it's relatively cheap and quite large in size compared to a lot of the British stuff, the kits you could get, which probably cost you just as much money, but it's about 4 inches square. Where a lot of the stuff tends to be, the American stuff tends to be a larger area. There's also different modifications you can make. A lot of it is just adds bits and pieces, like this particular building. I've added a water tank on the front of it.
Right, and you've got the fire escape there as well, I see.
Yeah, well that came with the kit in that case, but you can add, like these are Bachmann air conditioning units, which I've just added to the front, give it a little bit of detail.
Yeah.
Bits and pieces of pipe work, just to make it look a little bit...
Yeah. Personalise it to you. Yeah. Super
That's
job.
right, yeah.
Right, well let's see this Sentinel in a second, coming back out.
Yeah, coming back out with the train this time.
So the Sentinel's coming back out now.
Yeah. Pulling a couple of Cambrian spars. It's off the road.
That happens.
It does happen.
Usually when you're filming. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's because it's not lined up properly there. That's my fault.
That was, yeah, it was me as well.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't spoil the image because, as I say, it does happen all the time, especially when I'm filming.
But yeah, just to say, point the camera in it, it'll pull straight off the rail.
That's right, yeah. I mean, the beauty is that it runs through the point work, and the Loco itself is just running absolutely lovely.
Yeah. So I just set the route up this end to make sure that it doesn't disappear into the abyss off the end.
Yeah. And of course, from the open wagons, you would normally from there load onto lorries or boats or steel or anything that's on the wagons.
Yeah, that's right.
Brilliant.
Box vans usually would be loading, could be all sorts of things. There's pallets around, there's one, you know, of all sorts of stuff there. Dog food, I think, was a lot of the stuff that used to come in at one point.
Right. So what have we got now, Kevin?
This is a little Hattons, I think it is, Barclay, little 040 steamer tank engine. Beautiful little job it is. And again, it's had sound fitted, it's got stay alive fitted. But this one was done by U-Choose and a group of lads called GWR down in South Wales in Cardiff, or Barry Island to be precise. And a superb job they made of it as well. I think it's great, I love it to bits. I just come out here and just drive it backwards and forwards because you can measure the grin on my face. It's great.
It's a pretty little Loco and it certainly runs superb.
Yeah. Yeah, it even looks right on that stop, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, normally the steamers would be running in the 60s period, but rather than change all the stuff around, it's just this looks just as nice.
Bit of heritage.
Yeah, it's the heritage.
Can't beat
fleet.
a bit of heritage.
The Millway Dock Heritage Fleet.
Lovely job. So with the curtains drawn now, we've got the nighttime scene, and it does show up the lights a lot better, Kevin, doesn't it?
It certainly does, yes.
Yeah, everything's got lights on. Absolutely beautiful. The clicking you hear behind me is the other layouts automatically route setting its points, so we're going to have a look at that one shortly. And now for something completely different. Right, Kevin, tell me about the layout.
Okay, this layout is called Leap Beach. It's based in the south of England. A bit of an extension onto the Fawley branch with a lot of World War II history. The layout is controlled automatically by Railroad & Co. And all the trains are now running through an automatic sequence. Basically the layout is split into blocks. And then each number of the blocks then obviously on the screen of the computer.
And this little tamper unit, that's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's made by Britannia Pacific, either as a kit or I purchased it ready-made.
With the sound?
No, I fitted the sound in and I fitted all the lights and things to it.
Goodness me.
So yeah, it's well worth it, it's good fun. Yeah, so it's very nice indeed.
Right, hadn't changed the batteries and got cut off earlier, so we've got a pair of 37s coming out now with the two cranes.
Yeah.
Tell me about cranes.
The cranes are made by Make Your Mark models. They are all, you can again buy them as a kit or you can buy them already built. I think they're absolutely adorable. Again, put a nice big smile on my face every time I look at them. They are museum quality models in my opinion. To be honest, you know, they could do a lot better on a larger layout, but they don't do too bad with the 237s there. The 37s powering them in and out.
Very nice. Now the layout, all the points change automatically, so the whole thing is set up with a sequence on the computer.
Yes.
And then you can set your timings so that each individual train can sit for an X amount of time.
Yes, yes, that's
lovely,
correct.
yeah.
It's controlled by Railroad & Co, which is the program which is in the computer.
Yeah.
And yes, you can run as in like anything else really, but totally automatically. And you set the trains at whatever speed, distance you want between them, time distance.
Yeah. Beautiful. Right,
Yeah.
so I think the next one is probably the 33, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's 33 on the TC will be around that we're going next.
Now it's a case of waiting for the sequence and for the points to change. And that's crossing the pier.
Yeah.
So the actual station will be on the pier.
It will, yes.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be a little rickety, old and rickety. Some of the lights on the front are working.
Yeah. So there we have it, 3 entirely different layouts. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you did as well. A good insight to how different people tackle different subjects, really, I suppose. Did enjoy seeing the running on Ian's Exford. That was nice, seeing things running around and lots of different freight stock, passenger stock, etc. Kevin's Millway dock is absolutely superb. The detail, the modelling, you've seen it for yourself, you know what it's like. And I'm looking forward to seeing Leap once that's built up a bit more. Kevin did try to explain to me the intricacies of automatic train control with the sequencer, etc. on the computer. Way over my head, but there we go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these videos. That's it for 2021 now. We'll see you in the new year, so hopefully we'll have some videos ready for you in 2022. Happy New Year if you're watching this before January the 1st 2022. If not, all the best anyway, and we'll see you in the new year. Take care everybody. Thanks again. Bye bye now.